Welcome back, welcome back. It's another video. I was told from my other video that it seemed like I was trying to sound more professional. So instead of reading from a script or what I was doing last time, I'm gonna just try and talk as my authentic self. Hopefully I'm talking as my authentic self and I don't sound too monotone. Let me know in the comments if you think I did or if I still sound like I'm trying to sound professional, because I'm not a professional type of guy. I don't know why I sounded like that. But I want to get into this. It's 5 uncomfortable questions that you can ask yourself to be more authentic in your videos and connect more with your audience. The first question is, what am I afraid people will find out about me? And how can I use that truth to connect with my audience instead of hiding it? And for me, I had to think about this question because I was thinking, what am I trying to hide? And then, your brain gives you smoke screens. And I think the main thing I was trying to hide is my actual upbringing and where I'm from. I'm not from a high class family. I'm not from a middle class family even. I'm from a working class family. I speak a lot of slang, and I think I was trying to make myself seem more professional than I am and less ghetto than I really truly am. And I think that's something I want to try and not hide anymore. I say shit like nigga bro and I swear, and the way that I talk in real life isn't actually how I've been talking on camera. It took someone else pointing that out for me to actually think about it. And now that I'm researching how to show my core beliefs a little bit more, and I'm sharing this with you as well so I can connect with you more and help you connect with other people more. It's something that I'm going to continuously think about, this question. I'm going to continuously ask myself and find ways to answer it and then share it with you guys so you guys feel more comfortable to share it with yourself. But that was the first one that came to my mind. It's just my upbringing. I feel like that is what I was hiding and behind this facade of me being this really professional guy wearing turtlenecks and putting on these fucking sunglasses when I've been putting on these glasses when I barely wear my glasses. Why am I putting my glasses on to make a YouTube video? Do you know what I mean? When I barely wear my glasses, even though I need to use my glasses. So I feel like this persona that I was trying to be it's because I'm trying to hide who I truly am. And maybe some of you guys are as well, but that's a question you should definitely ask yourself. And if you want to connect with your audience more, it is a very strong, powerful question that I don't think is going to be able to be answered quickly. I feel like that's a question it's going to take a while to answer, and it took a while for me to even think, because there's even going to be more things that you're afraid to share, you're probably not aware of now, or you feel like now that's too much to share. But as you get on this journey, you'll realize that sharing that is what actually makes people connect with you and want to watch your videos and feel like they know you. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, let's go to question number 2. Question number 2 is, am I willing to share the parts of my story I've buried because they feel too raw, knowing that they could be the most impactful for others? For myself, I feel like this is a very powerful question, because for myself, there's so many parts of my story that I'm not willing to share, even though they might be the most impactful for my audience. I'm still a little bit scared to share them. The answer for me right now is no. It's actually no. There's parts of my story that I feel like if I shared, I'd get a phone call from my mum like, why the fuck did you say that online? Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, the answer is even no. For you, it might be yes. Knowing that that's actually what's going to help you connect with your audience more. And who knows, you might actually help someone. You might actually help someone who was about to commit suicide that day. And then you shared your part of your story that you thought that you were scared to share, and then you stopped them from committing suicide. I see in other creators' comments that, they've been helped by that creator because they shared that story that day they were going to commit suicide. But for me, the answer right now is no, because I guess I don't want my family calling me, asking me what the fuck I'm doing on YouTube right now. If I had more views, maybe. If I was bringing in more money from my own YouTube channel, then maybe. But as time goes on, I might open up more. I might become more comfortable making these videos. I might become more comfortable talking on camera, where I'm like, look, I got to share this part of my story. But currently, right now, the answer is no. So I think you should definitely ask yourself, what parts of your life are you willing to share that can really help someone else? Question number 3 is, what's a story from my life that shaped who I am today, even if it's painful or uncomfortable to revisit? For myself, this is a difficult one, because there's so many parts of my life that's been shaped by things that are uncomfortable to revisit. And there's one right now on the top of my head that I'm thinking, should I even share this? Should I not share this? I'll share parts of it, not the whole thing. But I have a friend who pretty much died in front of me, and that changed my entire life, changed everything about me. It was a normal day for me, and then he knocked on my door and then bled out on my floor. He was stabbed to death. That was a massive turning point in my life, and it shaped me to who I am now. I became a lot more aggressive. I became a lot more willing to die myself because I watched someone else die. And yeah, man, that's so. Even me saying this now, I feel like I don't even know if I should share this, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to share that much, and You know, in the future, maybe I'll get into it a little bit more and actually explain how it changed me in more ways, because there is a lot more to that actually happened to me from there, because I actually became more cold. I lost a lot of my feelings in terms of empathy, in terms of, you know, I used to say, I still to this day say this to people when they bring up problems to me that I feel like is not like a real problem. I always say to people, there's more going on in life than this minor problem, and I genuinely believe this because I've watched someone die. I've watched someone die like that was really close to me. I've got them tattooed on my arm here as well. So that's definitely something that's been a changing point in my life. You should ask yourself as well if you're planning to make content and you want to connect with your audience. The next question is, what do I believe about what makes life meaningful? This is another question that I feel like is going to take a while to answer, because your version of what makes life meaningful is your version. So for me, what makes life meaningful for me is relationships, friendships, actually achieving things. For you, it might be something completely different, you know what I mean? So you got to take time to really think about this question and write down what you think is the right answer for you. That is what's going to allow you to polarize your audience. So like for me, I'm a very, very social person. If I don't go out, I get depressed. If I don't go and socialize with people, I actually start to get depressed. The biggest thing for me is I feel like relationships and speaking to people and communicating, and all the money in the world couldn't buy that. 100% there's millionaires out there who would swap their millions to be able to bring a friend back or a family member back in life. And that's why it's meaningful. That connection that you have with other people, that love that you feel for someone, that's what makes life meaningful, in my opinion. You need to ask yourself, what is that as well, so you can start sharing that in your videos. You can start sharing your personality a little bit more. The next question is, when I strip away the desire to be liked or admired, what message do I truly want to share with the world? For me, I want to share with the world the fact that creation doesn't have to be complicated and creation doesn't have to be perfect. I like to work with creative people, so this is why I want to make the people who are creative be more creative unapologetically. So that's why I make videos mostly for creators. Obviously, my videos are centered around working with creatives as well. I mean, I started this game in music, but I had the same idea in music. Just creating, just the act of creating is like therapeutic. There's a lot of artists who feel like this as well, and I feel like this myself. And like when you create, you kind of get to be taken away from the world. Every problem that you've had or anything that your mind was racing on, you get like the split moment or these few hours that are away from it, where your mind's empty because you're creating now. So without being judged, without having to feel like you have to make everything perfect in that moment, I feel like that's truly the message I want to give, so I can help creatives be more creative. The next question is, if my audience only remembered one thing about me, what would I want it to be? And am I communicating that clearly? Now, I think the answer to this question is going to change over time. This isn't going to be an answer that is just stationary and 2-3 years down the line, it's going to be the same answer. As we grow, our thoughts change and our experiences change. So the one thing that you want to be remembered by might change. But for me, right now, I feel like the main thing that I want people to know me for is, or remember me for, is giving people the space to create freely, or helping them become creative and not worrying what people think. There's a lot of people who have told me that, even though I don't have like a massive fan base or anything like that, just the fact that they saw me creating, they saw me doing it unapologetically and being authentic in my videos, they started doing it themselves. So obviously I make a lot of videos about authenticity. When I was doing it on Instagram as well, I was making videos about how to be authentic, and it kickstarted other people starting to make their own videos who have been dwelling on it for so long, because they saw me, you know, I didn't have the best edits. I didn't have like a setup that looked nice, but I was still creating videos and I was still getting my point across, right? I was even making videos on the train. I was not scripting my videos, because a lot of people waste time scripting their videos and trying to think of one video, trying to make it the most perfect it can be, when, you know, they don't even have that habit of just making and posting and forgetting about actually the results. There's a lot of people, they think about the results so much that they actually forget to just create. That's the one thing I want to be remembered by. Like, I made people who are creative or wanted to be creative, even if they've never created in their life. Now they get the space to create because they've watched me. That's truly what I want. That's 5 questions that you should ask yourself if you really want to connect with your audience more. And if you like videos like this about learning how to create more content or be more creative in whatever creative endeavor you're taking, then make sure you watch this video next. And remember, just be creative, man.